Shout out to everybody. I want to talk to y'all real quick. Thug life, it is what it is. Wait a minute. Shout out to everybody. What's up with y'all? You know what I mean? It is what it is. Yo, did y'all see them views? Hold on. Let me see if I can show y'all this. Y'all is wilding. Hold on. Look, it looked like that last video we did some crazy numbers. What did we do? Like when we talked about Kamala Harris before, we did 436,000 views. It's over. Wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody that's been subscribing. Thug Life. Y'all will not believe the information that I just found that has been happening. Y'all gonna be mad. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But shout out to everybody. Before I get to the news, I want to thank everybody for coming in. Shout out to Mafioso, a big supporter on the channel. Shout out to Mel. Shout out to Giant Williams. Shout out to Marcus Chapman. Shout out to Trilly and Truly. Shout out to y'all. It's lit. Hey, y'all had it so lit. The chat was like flying up, and it was subscribers only. It was fly. I think we got like, I think it was like almost 2,000 subscribers. It was lit. Y'all had it lit, and it was like everybody in the chat going, Thug Life. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all. Trillion Truly said 1 million on the way. We are trying to get 100,000 subscribers, so we are on a climb to 100,000. So, you know, I got to work. We all got to work. A lot of y'all are getting ready to go to work. Shout out to y'all, you know what I mean? But this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, we talking. We talk because it's a lot to talk about. Let me show y'all some of this news. Y'all gonna trip out when y'all see this. So guess what I found out? They're trying to stop. There's this lady, right? And she went to go vote. Guess what they did to her, y'all? She had a MAGA hat on. They told her she couldn't go in there with a MAGA hat on. Like, what is this, bruh? I kid you not. It says this. Hold on, shout out to I mean, therefore I am, put out the post, right? And it said Trump 2024. This is America. Take America back. Vote no matter how you look, right? It says, so you can't vote with Trump and MAGA tattoos. So they're trying to stop this lady from vote. Like this, like they are trying everything in their power to stop y'all from voting. And just so y'all know, early voting has started, you know what I mean? And they don't want people to get on the wave of doing that. So people are mad and they're going to do anything that they can to stop it. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all can, hit that like button, hit the subscribe. We got to get this channel into the algorithm. What is y'all doing? Wait a minute. Hit the like button. Shout out to Marcus Chapman. He says it's because you kept the energy going the whole video. But we about to keep some energy going this video. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Eric G2. He said, morning crew, let's go. Bandit, shout out. Check this video. Y'all gonna get mad. And before we get to this video, Kamala Harris, his team is extremely desperate. When y'all see what they end up doing, y'all gonna be, ain't no way. Watch what they end up doing. Watch what her team ends up making her do, right? But before this, let's get to this. So it says, this America, take America back. Vote no matter how you look. So you can't vote with the Trump MAGA tattoos.
It says Trump. I'm not allowed. Okay, so I'm not allowed to be here with my Trump or my MAGA. So you know what I did, sir? I went and I got a MAGA face tat. So I'm gonna come in there to the polls. I'll take this hat off. You can hold it to me.
They're trying to stop her from going into the polls because she's got a tattoo on. Yes, Pyro Tracks. Yes, shout out to Colin Radley with the 199. He said, what's up with y'all? Let's go. Let's get it. Thug Life. Watch it. Like, watch it again.
It says Trump. I'm not allowed. Okay, so I'm not allowed to be here with
my... He said, it also says Trump on the back. This dude is trying to stop her from voting. This is not, I don't care.
It says Trump. I'm not allowed. Okay, so I'm not allowed to be here with my Trump or my MAGA. So you know what I did, sir? I went and I got a MAGA face tat. So I'm gonna come in there to the polls. I'll take this hat off. You can hold it to me, and I am good to go. I'm sorry, Matt. You can take the hat off.
No, we not doing that, bro. Shout out to her. All right, so this is another one. It says the platform removed I don't even know if I could say that, like YouTube is. So it said the platform removed a athlete video for hate speech for claiming that, I can't even do that, bro. Like, social media is so controlled. It's so controlled. Let me see if I can show y'all this. Y'all gonna be like, what is going on? All right, so shout out to Benny Johnson. He ended up putting up just in Kamala Harris gives remarks on the Hamas leader Sinwar. This is troubling to me, right? Let's see this.
Today, Israel confirmed that Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas, is dead, and justice has been served. And the United States, Israel, and the entire world are better off as a result. Sinwar was responsible for the killing of thousands.
Why is this lady giving a speech that the president should be giving thug life? Y'all not tricking us. Wait a minute. She not the president. Y'all see what they doing? They trying to make y'all think she's president, right? This lady is not the president. Joe Biden is still the president of the United States. What does she think she doing coming out here announcing this? Have y'all paid attention to this? VP Harris speaks after Israel unalives the leader, right? When Barack Obama was in office, right? And the whole Saddam, you know what I mean? Not Saddam, but you know what I mean? Afghan situation happened. He came out and talked. Why is she sitting here talking? Am I the only person that kind of wondering, is this kind of weird to y'all? Shout out to the Trillion Truly. Hit the like button, Angie. Hit the like button. Shout out. And double tap the screen if y'all can. If you got an Android, I think you could double tap the screen. Other than that, you got to hit the hearts and everything like that. Shout out to everybody. And then Malk Sinatra says, see what they do. Mike S says she is a sign whatever Biden wants her to do. And Jose said, listen to me. This lady is not my president. Biden ain't my president either. It is what it is. Thug life. But she is not the president of the United States to be giving some speech like this. This lady is desperate. The administration is desperate. They are doing everything that they can to try to put this lady in front of you after that failed interview that she did with Brett Baer, if you ask me. CNN thinks, she was being asked, hard questions. Some people think she did really good on the left side of the aisle. The lefties are losing it. We already know that. Thug life. But when we sat there and we did an assessment and we broke down that interview, I think we all came to a conclusion. She said a lot of nothing. When Brett Baer is talking to her and asking her, what do you think? If you look at the polls, the Americans think we're headed into the wrong direction. 70-something% of Americans think that. And she had to sit there and deal with that question. You know what she said? Well, Trump is running for president what does that have to do with this? This is crazy, bruh.
Today, Israel confirmed that Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas, is dead, and justice has been served.
They want to paint her as the strong woman. Somebody just got clipped, and so they want her to look like she's an authoritarian figure. She know what it's about. She know how it is. They doing anything and everything to put her in front of y'all she really know what's going on. They probably had probably an hour-long meeting with her. This how you gonna do when you stand up there. Be extra confident. They all looking at you. Look at her.
And the United States, Israel, and the entire world are better off as a result. Sinwar was responsible for the killing of thousands of innocent people, including the victims of October 7 and hostages killed in Gaza. He had American blood on his hands. Today, I can only hope that the families of the victims of Hamas feel a sense.
This is really crazy that they have her up here doing this. Rod G said, I can't take someone serious who just started, like, then get out of here, bro. I'm not blue. You can't force me to be blue. It's not gonna happen. How about that? You better not be talking about me. But he said, I can't take someone serious who just started talking politics. And like what are you talking about, bro?
And measure
Somebody
of relief.
said, Trillion truly said, oh, he did it by
Sinwar
himself.
was the
huh?
mastermind of October 7, the deadliest day for the Jewish people.
You're not Joe Biden.
Since
You're
the
not
Holocaust. A terrorist attack that killed 1,200 innocent people.
Where is Joe Biden? Doesn't he have like good mental fitness that she's been saying and a lot of people are saying what he can't get up here on the podium and give this speech? I'm just curious, like, where is his mental fitness? Like, or are they just like, okay, well, we're going to sit Joe Biden down for a while. Let him go back to the beach. Well, Kamala Harris handles everything.
And included horrific sexual violence and more than 250.
Yeah, he had blood on his hands, but the government didn't like, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. Y'all clean, squeaky clean, right?
Hostages taken into Gaza, including 7 Americans, living and deceased, who remain in captivity. A terrorist attack that triggered a devastating war in Gaza, a war that has...
Rod, you need to do your Googles. Do your Googles, Rod.
...led to unconscionable suffering of many innocent Palestinians.
No, don't bully Rod. Let Rod talk, man.
And greater instability throughout the Middle East. In the past year, American special operations and intelligence personnel have worked closely with...
This is ridiculous, bro. I don't believe nothing that this lady says. Nothing that this lady says. Let's get somebody else's perspective on this lady. See my dog, Anthony Brian Logan. Let's see what he's talking about.
You're not Joe Biden. You're not Donald Trump. But nothing comes to mind that you would do differently?
Let me be very clear. My presidency will not...
Yo, Candace Owens been lighting her up. Shout out to my girl, Candace Owens. I don't know her. I don't know him either. But we on the same team right now. Thug Life. It is what it is. Hit the like button. We got to get this channel up to 100,000 subscribers. Let's do it right now. Stop playing.
...be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency.
Shout out to ABL. Let's talk.
At the beginning of the administration, well before a negotiated bipartisan bill. Former President Clinton actually referred to Laken Riley Sunday campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been properly vetted, Laken Riley probably would not have been killed. So if it wouldn't have happened.
I like how he bleeped that out. He like, y'all not about to limit my video, bro. Shout out to Anthony.
This is well before any negotiation.
Hey, Furu the Guru, yeah, I'm going to keep the content coming, man. Like, nobody can come in here and bully me into their perspective. Because if their perspective was so good, they would be having, like, channels, you know what I'm saying? Or, like, people be really paying attention to them. Like, nobody's paying attention to that dude.
This is well before Donald Trump got involved in the politics.
Because, okay, let's just pause. Laken Riley, of course, unfortunately was by an illegal alien on UGA's campus, Athens, Georgia. May she rest in peace. Now, Bill Clinton was in Georgia and said out of his own mouth that if that illegal alien had been properly vetted, meaning not let into the country while he was already a criminal beforehand, then maybe Laken Riley wouldn't have died. Actually, we know she wouldn't have died because he wouldn't have been here.
You had a case in Georgia not very long ago, didn't you? They made an ad about a young woman who'd been by an immigrant.
Clinton and got out the White House and started wilding.
Yeah, well, if they'd all been properly vetted, that probably wouldn't have happened.
Now, Kamala and her cronies want to blame Trump for the bill and all this dumb stuff. But before any kind of bill, before anything, the Biden-Harris administration, opened the border up and allowed him to come in. So how are you going to try to blame Trump for a thing that you did, Kamala? Let's hear her response.
This is a specific policy decision by your administration to release these men into the country. So what I'm saying to you, do you owe
Brett,
those families an apology?
Let me just say, first of all, those are tragic cases. There's no question about that. There's no question about that. And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced for a loss that should not have occurred. So that is true. It is also true that if a border security had actually been passed 9 months ago, it would be 9 months that we would have had more.
Remember, they've been in there for 4 years. They undid President Trump's border policies as soon as they got into office. They opened up the border so people can flood in here. This is something that people are not talking about. It's like, yeah, she can sit there in her $1,000 suit with all of her makeup on and her special earrings, but it doesn't change the fact that y'all have been in there for 4 years. So claiming that, you know, if Trump didn't do something 9 months ago, like that really has no standing on what's going on, lady.
More border agents at the border, more support for the folks who are working around the clock trying to hold it all together.
Madam Vice President.
To ensure that no future harm would occur. And this election in 20 days will determine whether we have a president of the United States who actually cares more about fixing a problem, even if it is not to their political advantage in an election.
Then why are you sitting here trying to denigrate or downplay Donald Trump at every turn instead of telling him about policies that you've actually done to work? And this is political banter. Like she's trying to steer the narrative instead of just answering a question head on. Your border policies are not working. I think she may be the only person that thinks that her border policies are working. We're going to get to what school she went in and everything in a minute. And then this, a lot of how she thinks is going to start making sense.
Because there was a solution, Brett.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the early part of your administration.
Exactly.
True.
Now, I'm
glad you caught that, Anthony. Shout out to you.
See the pro earrings, of course. The earring you see right there is always there. It's ever present.
How come she got mad money? Why is she always wearing the same earrings? Who is talking to her in those earrings? I'm just wondering. Hey, I played like a Univision clip. It showed her, like, you know what I mean? Like talking while a teleprompter was running. So that clip got, sanitized. I'm still fighting that process. But who is talking to her in these earrings? We've already caught her with a hot mic trying to communicate some things. So it's like, what? I don't know, guy.
Different outfits.
But she's such a president, like she can't speak off the cuff. Makes you think.
Different jewelry aside from the earring. That at least one earring is always there. Always. And again, she wants to divert from the question, which was, hey, your decision early in the administration is what caused this to happen. The guy you're speaking of, or the guy we're speaking of that killed Laken Riley, came in under the Biden-Harris administration before any kind of bill was even the question. And the bill, listen, all it did was break the border and then hold it hostage with the bill with all kind of pork and other stuff in it. Mm-hmm. All right. There was no need for a bill before they came in. Look, and I hate that they reversed all of what Trump did to keep the border secure.
Right.
Then they say it's Trump's fault for the border not being secure. Make that make sense. Make it make.
Hey man, I'm sorry. I seen Don Lemon going off earlier. Like Don Lemon just don't really be understanding things either. Like I don't understand how anybody can sit on any platform. Don Lemon didn't talk about that specifically, but he was going in on Fox News. He felt like they were being unfair. And then we're going to talk about what he thought they were being unfair about. And then we're going to see what actually really happened to why Don Lemon is basically trying to expose like Fox News. We're going to get into that video, but he does it with disinformation. We're going to get to in the video, but this lady is all over the place. You guys undid the border policies that caused it flooding of immigrants coming in here. And then as a result, like, people have lost their lives. And Brett Baier is making you sit and, you know, understand what you've done. But she wants to sit here and blame Trump. Because she says if within 9 months ago they could have done, why haven't you done anything in 4 years? So shout out to Anthony for catching that. And we said that when we reacted to the whole like live before. Like, I think she thinks she's talking to third graders.
Makes sense. Let's keep on going here.
A number of experts thought you would say China. The FBI director had said that. But you said Iran. If that's the case, what do you say to critics who look at the actions of your administration and say you're not acting like Iran is the number one threat?
Well, I will tell you most recently, whether it was in April or in October, in the several hours on each occasion that Iran posed a threat to Israel, I was there. Most recently in the Situation Room, in the most recent attack, working with the heads of our military in doing what America must always do to defend and to support Israel in its requirement to defend itself, and to give American support to be able to allow Israel to have the resources to defend itself against attack, including from Iran and Iran's terrorist proxies in the region.
But if she's worried so much about Iran, why did they loosen up restrictions? And now Iran has a surplus of $500 billion that they can use for whatever they want. I think it's a 500 million or 500 billion. You know what I'm saying? One or the other. But it's like 500. I think it's like 500 million or something like that. But they never would have had that money if they never would have loosened up restrictions. So this is like interesting to see her. Like, now that I know a lot of what goes on behind the scenes, because, you know, we all been sitting down breaking out a lot of videos from a lot of different pundits and a lot of different, her talking and different people talking, watching all of the debates. Now that we know how these people think, it's utterly disgusting. The spin that they try to put on things. And they use our tax dollars. It's ridiculous, bro. This is ridiculous.
Right.
And that
but those
is
proxies.
And
What is she saying here? Like, she's hard to follow. I don't know what it is.
Bro, hey, Anthony, I'm trying to, I don't know, bro. I don't know what she's saying either, to be real.
I don't understand.
But the liberal simps out there, they're going to be like, oh my God, she's standing firm. She not letting him push her around. And it's like, bro, what is she even saying? Like, even with the Charlemagne the God interview that she did, she's being asked direct questions. And Charlemagne is just guiding her through the conversation. And then when it's time for somebody to redirect her and make her actually answer a question like what they're supposed to do when you're interviewing somebody, Charlemagne changes the subject. The Breakfast Club has that content heavily restricted. So, like, you know how, like, we can all, like, shout out to Fox News. We can just react to Fox News. This is the big interview. We can just react to it. Try reacting to that Charlemagne the God, iHeartRadio, Breakfast Club, Kamala Harris interview. Try doing it. See what happens. You can't. Unless you, like, wait, like, days for them to, like, YouTube to really see whether or not it's a reaction. By that time, nobody cares. Why are y'all, like, heavily restricting the content of that interview so people can't break down exactly how foolish she was in the Charlemagne the God interview? And for us to show in the Charlemagne the God interview how he was carrying her through the interview and how she said nothing in the interview. But you guys won't allow us to be able to do that. But Fox News, which is way bigger than the Breakfast Club, would allow people to do that. And the liberals are not even picking up on that.
I don't understand why it's difficult to follow what she's saying. She's just not speaking properly, or she's just saying words that don't really go together. When you're speaking,
hey, Lamogus Isam says she's making us liberals look bad. She is, man. She's just like, it's a lot of word salad because she knows she can't. Now she has to talk. She can't just sit there and say, I grew up in a small town. That's not going to fly with Brett Baer. He's been doing this too long. Even Charlamagne the God had to talk to her and say, okay, Kamala, voters are tired of you saying the same thing, or have concerns that you've been saying the same thing over and over again. And she's like, I believe in repetition. That's why I say everything, more than once at rallies, because if you don't say anything more than 3 times, people, they can't remember. And Charlamagne, like, he was kind of looking at her like, what are you talking? So he did, like, Charlamagne, I'm gonna give you some credit. You did press her a couple times. But other than that, like, when that guy asked her, what is she going to do in terms of what is the Democratic Party going to do for black people? Because they haven't really done anything for black people. And we keep, getting shamed into voting for you and, like stuff like that. But y'all literally do nothing for us and you expect our vote. What are you guys going to do for us? She goes ahead and she tells him that she's going to help the banks. And liberals are not even like picking that up. They're thinking like, oh yeah, we can get more loans from banks. You got to pay a loan back. We can give you, some down payment assistance for a house. And like you're supporting the banks. The dude straight up asked you, what are you going to do in terms of reparations? And she had nothing to say. In terms of that, she skated all around the question. She did the robot to the question, thug life. She did everything. And Charlamagne the guy was looking at her and just changed the subject instead of checking her. But he would check. Like, y'all got to understand, if, Fredro Starr was there, he would have said something. If Birdman was there, he would have said something. Beanie Siegel was there, he would have said something. He done made that girl cry that got on stage with Jay-Z, like at that concert with Alicia Keys. I can't remember her name. Lil Mama made her cry. But, she thinks that he's like the voice of black men. So he's not going to say anything to her. Shout out to Mafioso with the $5 donation. Remember when Obama said if he can be behind the scenes in his basement speaking in someone's ear, he would do it? Why do people not pick up on things? Obama can't even help her. He had to come out and try to shame the American men into voting for her, which American black men. More separatism. Like, oh, well, the brothers. I think you don't want to vote for her because she's a woman. Like, trying to, the gender play. That's what he's trying to do. It's no, she's not qualified to do this job. She ended up being the deciding vote when Larry Summers, I think it was named Larry Summers, told the guy that was, the congressman, at the budget committee, they kind of, he kind of researched Larry Summers' opinion on that. They used to be in, I think, the Clinton administration. And Larry Summers said, if you vote in favor of this, it's going to cause mass inflation. And the Republican in the budget committee said that it's going to cause mass inflation. She was a deciding vote. And we ended up reacting to the video. And what did it do? Cause mass inflation. Now, some people may not have been in here when we reacted to that video. And we just want to give them a brief recap on what happened so they can see this. And now they got Big Meech out of jail. Yeah, that's going to be a very nice distraction. Everybody's going to be distracted. Oh, the hip hop community, it's time to be, Big Meech is out. Let's be distracted now. Kamala caused inflation. Let's listen to what he got to say. No.
Are we thriving? Are members in your
I would
state,
argue
black
we're
folks
not.
in your
I would
state
argue we're not
thriving?
really thriving right now. This inflation, which by the way was brought to us by Kamala Harris, has really slowed down people from being able to excel.
By Kamala?
Yes.
Vice president.
Oh, Charlemagne.
It's still the president.
Charlemagne, listen, man. When Joe Biden wanted to do his American Rescue Plan, Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote in the United States Senate. She was the tie-breaking vote in the United States Senate. Pay attention to what this guy is saying. So a lot of, it's a lot of people. Like we got like almost 20,000 views on this video right now. So it's a lot of people watching, right? So with that, like pay attention to what he said. I know a lot of people like we all trying to get ready to go to work. You know what I'm saying? I just got home from work, but y'all probably get ready to go to work. It's like 7 a.m. Some people about to go to school. It's a lot going on, right? Listen to what he's saying. He's saying that she was the deciding vote in the Senate, which caused inflation. This is what the liberals do not want y'all to know. This is what Don Lemon will never tell you. Stephen Colbert will never tell you this. But he'll sit there and have a Miller Lite with her while people in North Carolina having a bad time. But they're living the high life. Bars. But she was the deciding vote. So for people that think she may be qualified to make great decisions being the president, let's listen to what a congressman has to say about this, arguing with Angela Rye, the super Democrat. She broke the tie that started this inflation that has hurt so many people in our country. Everybody listening to your show. It's not true?
First of all,
you sure you want to go there?
Tie-breaking vote.
You sure you want to go there? And the reason why I play this, reason why I play this, because I want hey, Kamala Harris, you know how you say repetition is a thing? The reason why I play this is so this can get like burned into people's like minds of who actually caused this inflation. So when they get out here and they start talking to liberals trying to change their mind, they will be able to confidently say, no, a congressman, like, seeing what Larry Summers was saying, and he even was in the budget committee, and he said that this her deciding vote caused inflation. And he's about to go into it a little bit more.
Go outside, Congressman, when you go outside.
You sure you want to go there? Okay, let's go there.
You had it
You got notes? You got notes, Angela, right?
That's fine. I have notes.
I'm gonna give it to Charlemagne.
I have today
I'm gonna give it to Charlemagne.
is that on every question I've asked,
because Angela, hold on
for every infrastructure project in your community,
you can go to
should
third
go
page,
out
just
and
the highlighted
thank
portion.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the Congress that voted for the American Rescue Plan.
Angela,
that's what should be happening.
Larry Summers wrote an op-ed back in 2021. Larry Summers was the Treasury Secretary for Bill Clinton. He was an economic advisor to Barack Obama. Mm-hmm. He said that the American Rescue Plan that Joe Biden wanted, that Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote in the United States Senate, would create a massive inflation that we have not seen in a generation. Well, guess what? Larry Summers was correct. You know who also was correct, Angela? I was, because I was in the budget committee when they brought the bill. And I said in that committee, it's going to cause massive inflation. That's what happened. So the problem we have in our economy today is that prices have gone up massively. Wages adjusted for inflation is down. People's pocketbooks are hurting. But we have a presidential election in 40 days. So, and I'm gonna ask Envy this question. Envy, you're in the housing business as well. I know because I listen to the show. Interviewed. No, I'm just asking them a question. Chill, Angela. So I listen to the show. I know you do a lot of business in housing. Mm-hmm. Would you hire somebody that broke up stuff in one of your houses to fix the other houses? Would y'all do that if somebody like broke things in your house, or they made a big mess? Would you hire them to, like, you see what I'm saying? Exactly. She broke the economy.
I'm not going to do this morning, Byron.
I'm not listening into this morning, Byron. Yeah, you're not going to listen to that. Of course you're not.
Or writing, and you formulate a thought in your mind. It needs to be a clear thought, cohesive. You should communicate your thoughts quickly and easily, without all the language around it. This is what you do.
Somebody, Houston with the 199 said, if Harris wins, would you think it's rigged? I mean, right now, Trump is leading in the polls right now. I think she may have had an edge like in PA, but I think he's leading in the polls right now. Like right now, he's leading. So all of a sudden she's coming out on the podium and she's trying to announce that somebody is no longer here no more. out of nowhere when Joe Biden's supposed to be doing it. They're doing, like, this is showing you how she's losing. That's why she's doing all of this. That's why she got on the podium. That's exactly why she got on the podium. When is the last time you seen her even talk? What she does on, you know, when she's seen, the only thing you see from her is her like smiling and shaking people's hands. That's it. Now she's giving important speeches about sin wars.
Today, Israel confirmed that Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas, is dead, and justice has been served. And the United States, Israel, and the entire world are better off as a result.
I'm not buying it. Are y'all buying that? I'm not buying it. Let's listen to what he got to say. All right, so this says Republicans have been very supportive, right? So this guy ends up, his family turned on him because he decided to be thug life. We voting for the felon. It is what it is. Thug life. So now that he wants to, hey, you can't control my mind just because I live in a certain area and everybody else gets bullied, like in this household or whatever area. You're not about to control my mind. I'm kind of seeing with everything that's going on. Now I want to be red. And my family's got a problem with it. They are disowning me. This is what he's about to say. This is so sad. This man became homeless after his parents found out he's voting for Trump. A woman who followed his account was kind enough to reach out and offer him a place to stay until he can get back on his feet. A lot of people tell me, and we're going to play this video, Republicans are, you know, they kind of racist, right? This is what they say. I've been talking about politics for a little bit over a week, right? Republicans have donated so much money. Just in like super chat. Y'all remember like a couple days ago? Was it yesterday? A couple days ago? Super chats was crazy. I made more money talking about politics in a week than I did in 7 years. You know what I mean? Super chat wise, like on YouTube. But the red people are supposed to be the racist ones. I'm sure he may have been taught that too. But now somebody's reaching out to him to help him. And guess who it is? It's a Republican. Maybe a black Republican, but it's a Republican. So let's listen to what's going to be said here.
2024. Last night I became homeless because my parents found out that I was supporting and voting for Donald Trump. Nancy from New Jersey reached out in my TikTok DMs after I posted a TikTok and let me into her house with loving arms, gave me a nice dinner and said I have more than enough time to stay here to get back on my feet. Thank you for all the Republicans who reached out in my comment section or from all over the country saying that I can stay in their home and welcome me with loving arms.
Wow! Thug life! Because it looks like Republicans are sticking together. That's what it looks like. It looks like they care about what you think. It looks like they believe that you should be able to think whatever you want to think without being bullied and losing the roof over your head. That's sad. To where his family has removed him from the family, ostracized him. Why? Because he wants to vote red. Is that fair? Hit the like button, Thug Life. Stop playing like it is. Subscribe to the channel. It's other people with different opinions. We don't have to listen to CNN all the time. It's people that look just like me who read. But the liberals don't want you to know that. Because the channels like mine are not over 100,000 subscribers. So we don't matter. And they got people with millions of views out here. Subscribe to this channel so people can see that people like that are talking for people like me, are talking for people like him. And people like y'all. People under the age of 50 and people under the age of 40. We fighting, hey, you got all these celebrities out here. Guess what they are? The urban celebrities, they supporting, Barack Obama. I wonder what Barack Obama has to say about Diddy right now. Thug life. I'm just curious. Nobody want to ask him? I mean, they say a lot of Epstein stuff, but, nobody around him is going to ask him any real questions. I don't think so. But shout out to this guy and everybody that reached out to him to try to help him not be homeless. Because Kamala Harris would rather reach out to somebody that's not even a citizen of the United States and give our tax money to him. Thug life. And I'm going to be going to the post. Thug life, thug life. They're going to be trying to give me a button. I don't want your button. Thug life. What you mean, thug life? I'm voting for the felon. It is what it is. Y'all done spent all this tax money trying to give him a felony. Like what she said, if we could have had this support 9 months ago, we could have secured. Like, if y'all wasn't focusing on giving Donald Trump a felony, you would have had all the money and resources to shore up the.
This is what Republicans are all about.
It's what it is.
We are all united, no matter what race or skin color, and that we all love and support each other.
I'm tired of them lineup. Thug life. Joyanne Malone, shout out to you. $5 donation. I remember you said that's how we roll, baby. That's how we roll. We going to the post, screaming thug life. I might do a video. Thug life.
Dinner and said I have more than enough time to stay here to get back on my feet. Thank you for all the Republicans who reached out in my comment section or from all over the country saying that I can stay in their home and welcome me with loving arms.
Why didn't any Democrats reach out to him? I'm just listen to me. Listen. Why didn't y'all reach out to him and try to help him? Because he doesn't fit the mold. Because he didn't conform. Republicans, the racist ones is the ones that reached out to him, huh? Okay, all right. All right, Obama, like, you want me to, all right.
This is what Republicans are all about, showing that we are all united no matter what race or skin color, and that we all love and support each other. Donald Trump is the best candidate for this country, and MAGA 2024, Make America Great Again. I'm going to be in NYC at the rally on the 27th, and I can't wait. Love you all, and thank you for showing me that this is what being a Republican is all about.
Exactly.
Do when you're trying to like fluff up a research paper the night before it's due, and you just using all kind of words throwing it.
Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me see if I got it. This is pretty interesting what this guy says. This will help you understand why the establishment doesn't want Trump to be president. Listen to what this guy has to say. It's very interesting, guys.
If you want to understand why the entire system went from loving Donald Trump to hating and attacking him in 2016, watch the next 28 seconds of this video. For the past 30 years, 40 years, we've been utilizing the core power of the United States. As I said before, since the 70s, Wall Street had a very strong influence on the domestic and foreign affairs of the United States, so we had a channel to rely on. But the problem is that after 2008, the status of Wall Street has declined, and more importantly, after 2016, Wall Street can't fix Trump. You heard that. Since the 70s, Wall Street has had a very strong influence on the foreign and domestic affairs of the United States. Until when? Up until Trump. Wall Street can't fix Trump. Do you think that might be the reason why the entire system has turned against him to attack him? Because they can't fix him? Listen to what he says next. But now we're seeing Biden was elected. The traditional elite, the political elite, the establishment, they're very close to Wall Street. So you see that, right? But now we're seeing Biden is elected, and then the entire crowd laughs. Biden is the traditional political elite, part of the establishment. That's the difference between him and Trump. That's the difference between Trump and Kamala, Trump and Obama, Trump and Bush. They are all establishment candidates, and Trump is an outsider. Listen to what he says in this interview. Within the establishments is a group we call the Deep State. It's a group of middle and senior officials in the U.S. military, intelligence system, State Department, Treasury, Commerce, Office of the U.S. Trade Representative, and judicial system. They are the ones who have dominated today's world for the past 70 years, running the entire world capitalist system. What does this group think of Trump? This group is extremely disdainful of Trump. And they believe that they are the true masters of the American empire. And that Trump is an...
Shout out to Michael. He said, I am from Ireland, and it's crazy how I see Americans treat each other over politics, all the fighting for no reason. I have seen it on both sides where they don't listen. Kamala is the downfall of America. Thank you for your contribution to the channel, bro. Michael, I appreciate you. And then Brandon Kramer with the $2 donation said, we've been divided for too long. We've got the numbers. Now, we don't have the numbers right now. We don't. Like, people like, bro, you got to understand. Like when you look at these celebrities that are liberal, it's insane. Like, even like the Young Turks, bro, like they got millions of people. And so you got people like me that's now coming out like black conservatives or whatever. And some of them are like really thriving and rising, you know what I mean? And making people like watch what they're doing. But we've got to like, I mean, it just don't have to be me. You know what I mean? Just like if you see a conservative or somebody, don't have to be a black conservative, like any, like, you know what I mean? White, Asian, there's Asian conservatives, you know what I mean? Don't think I'm picking on an Asian because he's right here. You know what I'm saying? There's Asian conservatives, but we need to put like more power behind these people. We need to subscribe to the channels. That way when we go live, because this video's got like 83,000 views, right? Because I've been live for like, you know, the channel's in the algorithm, right? But we need to be actually subscribing, you know, to people who are actually putting the message out. That way we're not being drowned out, because it's easy for a CNN or somebody to, bro, I was like at work and somebody was listening to the radio and they were talking about how bad Brett Baer, you know, was being in the interview and how his questioning didn't even make sense. And we literally just sat down and broke down the entire interview, and we saw that she was the one that wasn't making sense. And a previous video that I did, it was like 2 videos ago, got like 400 and something thousand views. So, you know, like we've got a lot of propaganda that we're trying to fight against. And the way to do that is to like, just, you know, subscribe to the people. And when they actually upload videos, like watch the videos that they upload. And that's why you got like Amala, like sometimes we react to some of her videos, you know, and she's like blown up. She got like 2 million subscribers now, you know, but it's like people have to get behind people who are willing to put themselves out there and be voices for the cultures. You know what I mean? It's multiple different cultures, not just black culture. It's like white culture. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot going on. Like we need to like just subscribe to people and stop playing a separatism game. And I do like that Michael did put out there, you know, that he's from, I think he said something like, he said he's from Ireland or something like that. But he is seeing that people are divided. And right now, like when I look at what's happening with these rallies, it seems like Trump, he may like throw his shots every once in a while at Kamala Harris, but for the most part, he seems like he's bringing people together and not trying to just sit there and do a divide, you know. And I think this is where she's really losing people. She even had Charlemagne the God come out and say that she's losing touch. She's out of touch with the voters. That's a problem, you know. And if you're going to be, you know, a Democrat and you may want to actually change things, why are you sitting there allowing them to do what they're doing to Robert Kennedy? They're basically dragging his name through the mud. You know, they got him up there at a hearing, won't let him talk, and just bullying him. And they're all sitting back allowing it to happen. Like, where's the outcry or the outrage? And he's not doing anything but fighting for free speech. It's like he's to not have like censorship as bad as it is. And they're censoring him while he's in a hearing trying to fight for, you know what I mean, not to have censorship. And how many times have we run videos, right? I played a John Kerry video. John Kerry saying social media is a problem because it's, you know, they're going to end up losing power because it's a problem, right? And it needs to be censored. We literally played a Hillary Clinton video of Hillary Clinton saying that social media is a problem and it needs to be censored, and Twitter needs to censor it, right? Or Twitter needs to like, push more censorship, right? Why is she saying that as a politician? I could run the video of her saying this. Like, I mean, like, cause people like when I'm around, like out, and I'll say that, people are like, nah, she didn't say that. And then I'll direct them. I'm like, yo, bro, like, look, I did a video. It's got like 400-some thousand views. We touched on all of this, every topic, and she's in there saying it. You know what I mean? And luckily I did a video and I was able to just, skim through it and pull up her saying it. And they're still like not convinced, even though they're hearing their politicians that they favor saying that they want to push more censorship. Listen to what Hillary Clinton is saying.
But if the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm. But if
this is Hillary Clinton saying that she believes that the internet needs censorship so that they can continue to keep control. She's saying that we're going to lose total control. Listen to what she's saying. I'm not making this up. Why do you think people are like subscribing to this channel like crazy? Last week I had 67,000 views. I've got like I'm approaching like getting close to 100,000 views. Why do you think they is? We're playing the videos that they're sanitizing from the internet. That's what's happening. She's sitting here talking to fake news. Why didn't they stop her when she said that? Because they're scared of her too. Like, look what the Democrats did to TikTok. TikTok was kind of bringing people together. It is a Chinese app or whatever, but it was kind of bringing people together as a collective and making people kind of see what's really going on. They don't want that. Even though Kamala Harris is like marketing now on TikTok. What did they do? They introduced a bill to get rid of TikTok. They've been threatening TikTok for 4 years. And so then they just introduced a bill to force a sale of TikTok. They do not want us getting together. Like, so if you're a big major platform, social media platform and everything, and I think Facebook had a big deal to do with Obama getting elected. But if you're a big platform and you're afraid of censorship, you're going to play, whatever rules that they're going to give you to play. Otherwise, you're going to be up like TikTok with a new bill coming out trying to get rid of your company. So it's people like her. They try to say that Donald Trump is the person that's censoring y'all. It's them. They actually have bills and legislation to censor social media accounts. We seen a video with John Kerry that went more in length with it, talking about it needs to be censored.
But if the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm. But if
it's real harm to them. They lose total control. Why? What do they need so much control for? Like, over your thoughts. They got young people waking up because of social media.
You know what pisses me off is that there are people online right now that are complaining that Brett Baer from Fox News was too rude to Kamala Harris, that he pushed too hard, that his questions were too pointed.
And we watched the interview, and what did we say? Oh, there was a lot of people in the chat like, oh man, he's being really professional. Yes, but she actually didn't just look at the propaganda and run with it. She actually watched it herself. But shout out to Brandon Kramer with the $2 donation. We've been divided for too long. We've got the numbers.
She is a presidential candidate. She is supposed to be able to do adversarial interviews. She is supposed to be able to hold her ground in, hot button discussion topics. That's literally her job. So many people online right now commenting and saying, oh my gosh, she did such a great job because she put that rude interviewer in his place. I cannot believe that he would speak over a woman in that way. It doesn't matter that she's a woman. She's running for president. And if you think that he should not be asking her those questions and being that pointed and being that assertive in a presidential candidate's interview just because she's a woman, then you are part of the problem. Then your ideology is not consistent, because if you believe in feminism, if you believe in equality, then you believe that men and women should be treated equal. And a woman who is running for president.
Yo, we got 102,000 views on this video. Hit the subscribe button. Thug Life. Y'all getting tired of like the regular, like these are videos that they're sanitized, like they don't, like they haven't sanitized it, but they gon' when they get control, when they force the sale of TikTok, because it's already in past legislation. So, and I think they made it to where it's gonna, you know, happen. So when they get rid of TikTok, or when it's a forced sale, what do you think they're gonna do? All these people that think they have a little iota of free speech to criticize the government, what do you think they're gonna do? Twitter was liberal at one point, and it forced Elon Musk to buy it. Like, yo, like y'all have no free speech, bro. This dude Elon Musk was worth like almost $200 billion. He could have just like lived his life and not cared what nobody thought. But he was like, yo, like, I love America. This is why I'm here. My businesses are in America. I believe in an American ideology. I believe in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. I believe in all of that, you know? So I'm going to do the country a service and buy a big social media company that suspended and silenced a lot of Republicans. What did he do when he bought Twitter? He unlocked Donald Trump's like suspension. Or removed the suspension. Kanye West, like a whole bunch of people. Like he just removed their suspension because he felt like they shouldn't have been suspended for different things that they were suspended for. Like a lot of that didn't make sense. Meanwhile, Sarah Silverman can sit around and bully people all day long. So it's, you know, yeah, I don't really like what's going on. Let me buy Twitter. Let me do that. So Twitter, like, believe it or not, is becoming a forum that a lot of people are running to. Like, you know, people run to Reddit and stuff like that. But Twitter is like bigger scale. You see what I'm saying? So people are running there because now they can like interact, and now they can see their favorite politicians, or, you know what I mean, favorite, you know, independent media sources and different videos that you can't watch on like YouTube, or, you know, like people can see what's really going on. Because everything's like controlled, and, you know, community guidelines and all of that. It's just a way to like control the freedom of speech, you know? So Democrats, when you heard Hillary Clinton yourself with your own ears, and anybody that's watching this, there's a lot of people watching, right? It's 108,000 views right now on this video. So when somebody says, oh, well, Kamala Harris has nothing, and this is like a change of subject, but kind of, you know, Kamala Harris has nothing to do with the economy. She's just the vice president. We literally just watched a video, right, of a congressman breaking that down, that she was a deciding vote, which ended up causing the inflation situation. You know, or you got people that are free thinkers and free, you know, they like a lot of stuff wouldn't fly on different social media platforms. That's why Rumble is becoming so big. Candace Owens ended up doing an interview with Kanye West, and she got suspended. That's an issue. She said, okay, you want to suspend me? All right, I got you. Thug Life, I'm going to Rumble. She went Rumble and her followers followed her. That was power. This is why I tell y'all it's important to subscribe to people that you watch. Because if she had no subscribers and she didn't have that power, you know what they would have done? She would still be suspended. Thug Life. She would have been. And she said, y'all got a problem. All right, I'm going to Rumble. Everybody went to Rumble. It's more advantageous to have her over here than go to Rumble. They unsuspended her. Then she started dropping the Kamala Harris family videos. And they making up family members to us. And we actually believe in it. They got Kamala sitting on a random lady's like lap. And they try to market this like this is her grandmother. And Candace Owens did the research showing that, no, this may actually be the help of the house, not the grandmother. And she did a whole series breaking that down. She broke down the family lineage. Then found out Kamala Harris allegedly may have been previously married. She just showed that yesterday or 2 days ago. Nobody's talking about it. Why isn't the fake news or Don Lemon answering the questions? Is she black or not? She trying to be now. The accent she's using like the past couple months. What is she really? Kamala Harris found out her family had plantations. Not Kamala, Candace Owens found out Kamala Harris's family had plantations. Nobody is questioning Kamala Harris about this? Does that not like make you think? It's not like Candace Owens has a little bit of views. She's got millions of views off of that. One video got like 1.1 million views. So people are saying this. They're just the View, the man-hating View show. Did they ask her that? No. When she got on that show, they started saying, oh, I don't like Donald Trump. I don't like that. Why are they even putting their input into it? They're supposed to be, let Kamala Harris say that. So now off top, this is not going to be like an unbiased interview. Everybody's holding her hand. Oprah Winfrey was looking at Kamala Harris like she was crazy. Like, why is this lady talking about she grew up in a small town when somebody just like asked her a direct question? She talking to like TV screens. And y'all don't think that's strange? This is not the pandemic. Why isn't a real person there? You know what they probably did? Thug Life. They probably had people pre-record their questions. I mean, she's on Univision with a teleprompter. It's a possibility. And she's skating around everything anyway. Oprah's sitting there. Why didn't she, like, give her any follow-up questions? Mr. Colbert, he's got a lot of jokes about everybody, right? Why is he sitting there having a Miller High Life while a hurricane has decimated people's, like, housing? So, yeah, things kind of look strange to me. I'm voting for the felon Thug Life. And shout out to Colin Radley with the 199 felon for president, Thug Life. You know, it just is what it is, bro. Like, and she whining about, and then Kamala Harris is like, oh, the middle class. I grew up in the middle class, from a middle class family, and then a middle class. Well, you know what? A lot of people are having problems out here, Kamala Harris.
I did not grow up a middle class child, and I am not a middle class person right now. When I talk about the struggle, I'm talking about what's real. And I know most of the Democrats, liberals, and leftists are out here just living their best life, so much so that they run up to our comment sections and try to beat us with bootstraps. I did not grow up a middle class kid. And even though I keep reaching.
I grew up poor. I don't know about y'all. I did. I grew up poor. Mama was on welfare, all of this. And she was incentivized not to have the father in the house, like all that. My father was a piece of crap, but you know what I mean? It just what it was. You know, and, you know, it just what happens. Like in the hood, you know what I mean? Like I grew up like really poor. I didn't grow up in the middle class. You know, my family had like, you know, businesses and all of that. But that's something that, you know, I don't know. Maybe she thinks we identify with that. Some of us do, but I didn't. I don't think she's identifying with that either.
And reaching for it. It did not come from my kids either. And I'm still reaching for it, and I'm still reaching for it. I can't seem to grasp it. And I will make no apologies for feeling like my voice is at least worth something, even if my pockets ain't.
So I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of people are, they're kind of not feeling you right now, Kamala Harris. So that's maybe why you're on the podium, you know, acting like the president now. I don't know.
There that aren't necessary for the paper to make sense.
When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden. Her mental faculties look like they diminished. Wait a minute, Thug Life. You mean to tell us that you working for somebody that people are questioning whether or not he's got good mental fitness. Let's listen to how she answered this question. Like, I just like, people got to read between. I think Brett Baer lit her up. That's what I think. Very politely.
When did you first notice?
Because, you know, it's a lot of anti-man women out here. The ones that love the men, we love them. But it's a lot of anti-man women out here. Can't wait from them to just move a little bit. Oh, look at his shoulder. He trying to bully her. There's probably a mosquito in there or something. Like, oh, look. So he like, I got to cook this lady super like casually. Professional, casual. And he smoked her. But let's get back to the
all kind of words
hit the subscribe. Stop playing with me. Thug Life. Hit the subscribe button right now. There's a whole lot of people in here. Wait a minute. We got to get this channel to 100,000. That's what we got to do. Because we can all come together and do that. Just like people came together and they helped that dude, that the family disowned him. He had nothing. Republicans came together and helped.
Aren't necessary for the paper to make sense.
When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room, and he has the judgment and the experience.
Somebody said, I want to answer this disrespectful comment because somebody said, did you pay back your mom's welfare? My mom's not here anymore. She's deceased, but I'm going to like talk to you for a minute. I made a lot of money like over my career of working. And the channel, like talking about entertainment and different things. I made about, I can't really say because 86,000 IRS agents, you know what I mean? But I ended up having to fork over like $60-something thousand in taxes, you know what I mean, over the years. So I know what it means to make money and pay into the system. You know what I mean? Like, but when I'm paying the system and I got a house and I got all this stuff, I want to see where my money's going. Don't you want to see where your money's going? Or are you just not? You're not working, you're waiting for a check. So I think I paid a lot of money into the system. Voluntarily. Because it's like, oh, taxes, whatever, let me pay it. I do believe in like roads and bridges and stuff like that. It is what it is. But it makes me pay attention to my money. I bet you I paid more money in taxes within the last 5 years than you made in a year. Guaranteed. I bought 2 Teslas, you know what I'm saying, for the tax breaks. $7,500 per Tesla tax break. I think I pay a lot of money in taxes. Yeah, so when I see a Shaquanda having 17 kids and she getting back like a $15,000 tax check at the end of the year or the beginning of the new year, and she giving Leroy or, you know what I mean, old Jeb, like some new rims off the money that I'm putting into the system. I got a problem with I don't want to hear this mother Thug Life. I got a problem with that. And when you start paying taxes because you believe that if you make money, you pay a little bit of money, right? You start paying attention to what they doing with it. And you don't care about what they doing with it because you ain't got no money. That's what it is.
To do exactly what he has done and make
Thug Life.
But when did his mental faculties diminish? When did you see that? Because everybody sees it. You can't act like you didn't. We just saw him have to get walked to the podium by a lady that might be 60 years old herself. So when did his faculties diminish? When did you see that? Because obviously you are the nominee right now, although you shouldn't be. Nobody voted for you.
So did Biden step down because he just wanted to step down, or is he stepping down because his faculties have diminished and he can't run again? Y'all remember he was avoiding debates? Remember when Biden was running, he was avoiding debates? Where was the fake news? The CBS, the fake news, the CNN. Why didn't they say, oh, well, he has like mental faculty issues? Why weren't they saying that? Well, I didn't see them saying it. Like, maybe they did. Maybe they kind of threw a jab in there just to try to be fair. There's a problem. You running from debates. You got Trump goes in there and debates her. He not only debating her, he being fact checked while he debating. And turns out a lot of his facts was actually right. That they tried to say was wrong. What did we end up, and I'm not going to put it in 2 videos. What did we end up seeing in that video that's got 400 and something thousand views? We ended up seeing the FBI, I'm going to say allegedly, this is not reckless endangerment of the truth. We seen that they changed the crime statistics after the debate. So what Trump was saying was actually right. We reacted to the video. That fake news is not going to tell you about. That TYT or whatever, the Young Turks, they're not going to tell you that. The View is not going to tell you that. You think the FBI wants to be smaller? They federal thug life. They want more and more money. You get more and more money from people paying taxes and all of that. What do you think happens? They get bigger, more. They expand more. You think they gonna keep the real statistics up? I'm just saying thug life. I don't know if y'all did it or not. I'm just saying what it is. Even though Trump basically said you did it and we reacted to a video kind of showing you did it. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. They the fans, they do what they want. Right? You think they're gonna let everything play out like what it's supposed to be so they can be possibly have money reduced? Do they really help you? Let's just say somebody out here bullying you, internet bullying you, or somebody out here trying to run, you know what I mean, like some kind of business scam or something. If they're trying to do that on you and you call the FBI, you think they're gonna help you? What are they here for? But you want them bigger? Oh, yeah. Oh, Trump said this is what the statistics says. It really is. Okay. We're going to publish them. We're going to wait a little while. After this debate, let them get fact checked a little bit. Think about it. But they're doing such a horrible job at the border. Hey, Border Patrol even had to go with Trump on this. Like, nah, we supporting dog. Like when Trump was here, like he had everything right. We ain't had these problems. We had more money. But y'all gonna let her trick y'all because she's standing next to Charlemagne the God. Charlemagne the God still hasn't answered for what's her name? Jessica Reed, the lady that was underage that he allegedly, she said it in her own, like gave her like, you know what I'm saying, drink and stuff like that and other stuff when she was younger, and she's trying to sue him, take him to court. But she thinks it's cool to sit down and do an interview with a person like that. Does she not care about Jessica Reed's struggle? I'm just curious.
By a lady that might be 60 years old herself. So when did his faculties diminish? When did you see that? Because obviously you are the nominee right now, although you shouldn't be. Nobody voted for you. Everybody voted for Joe Biden. But his faculties are so diminished they had to replace him with you in a completely undemocratic process. So let's please stop filibustering, Kamala.
I wish Rush Limbaugh was here, bro. I wish Rush Limbaugh would have seen this interview. If he was alive today, he would be going crazy right now. Like, what? You're questioning what Trump's mental fitness? You're asking for medical records, but you're not asking for those records for Joe Biden? That clearly has a problem, that clearly is having an issue walking up the steps to Air Force One. but you're questioning a guy that's doing like 2 to 3 rallies a day and doing interviews everywhere and sitting down doing, you know what I mean? Like talking to mad people. Like, come on. And he debated you and then had a post interview and all of this, answering questions off the cuff, no teleprompter or special earrings. But you want to know his mental fitness. And the person that you work for couldn't even, had to get out of debating Trump. But you wonder about Trump's mental fitness. And this is the lady that you think can guide the country. She seems like she's making a lot of interesting decisions to me. That's just me. What do y'all think? Thug life. I think she making some interesting decisions. A lot of people do. Subscribers going up like crazy. 83,000 subscribers. They trying to get this channel to 100,000. I think they kind of thinking like me with this. This video, how many views we got? Because I think people are kind of, they tired of Kamala. Like they tired of this. How many views we got? I'm just curious. Let me see what this says. It says we got 155,000 views on this video.
And get down to the nitty gritty. Let's get down to meat and potatoes.
Making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
There were no concerns raised?
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And Donald Trump
But
is,
you talked about it.
And Donald Trump
after George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw.
Wow. Even George Clooney has something to say. So we want to hear what you got to say. Jarhead Aircraft with the 199 said, we cooked if she voted in. Dude, they going to try everything not to. Bro, go to Rumble. They got like stories about this that you can't talk about on this platform.
Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President
with voting and stuff like that.
Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand. You met with
so where he said George Clooney felt like after he talked to Joe Biden, he wasn't the same Joe Biden. And then she's like trying to get out of it. He was like, but George Clooney said this. And she was like, but he's not on the ballot. Like, you know he got you. You know Bear guy. Oh, he's being mean to her. No, he got her. He don't have to get all extra. He just got her.
Talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand. You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
Dog life! He is lighting her up. Watch her face.
Met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years.
She's like, oh no, he done got me. Wait a minute. Hold on for a minute. She like, no, he did not just sit there and go crazy on me in front of the American people. I guess she thought he was going to have like a screaming match with her or something. Hit the like button, Doug. Subscribe to the channel right now. Stop playing with me. What y'all doing? She thought he was going to get in there and be aggressive with her. She did not expect to get cooked eloquently. She is being flame broiled right now. Look at her face.
You didn't have any concerns.
She's being flame broiled right now. Go crazy, Brett. Go crazy. Shout out to Deontay Kennedy with the $20. He said, Thug life. I'm voting for the felon.
Thought this was not the same Joe. No concerns raised?
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And Donald Trump
but
is.
You talked about it.
And Donald Trump
after George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser.
Yo, he keeps saying that to her. But George Clooney said after a few minutes of talking to him, he is lighting her up, bro. This is how you light somebody up without having to be super aggressive, bro. Shout out to Brett. He's been doing this for years. He's been doing this for years. He knows exactly how this works.
ballot.
I understand.
And Donald Trump
But
is,
you talked about it.
And Donald Trump
after George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Trump is on the ballot.
I understand. You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump, which is why.
No, they have a concern about. She can't even get out of this. She just like, I think the American people have a concern about. Nah, he is cooking her. Like this one, when we watch this, like he cooking.
On the ballot.
I understand. You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump, which is why the people who know him best, including leaders of our national security community, have all spoken out, even people who worked for him in the Oval Office.
Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Let's keep on walking. Keep on going.
Why, if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States? Why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
That wasn't, he didn't ask you, why is it hard or why isn't it easy? The question was, you say this man's so bad. Orange man bad, right? That's your stance, right, Ms. Harris? Orange man bad. If Orange man is so bad, then why does half of the country, and really more than that, in my opinion.
Hey, Esco said get her is crazy. Y'all know y'all be thinking that, like y'all, the chat crazy. Hey, y'all be thinking that when y'all be watching something and they be somebody cooking, you like, get her. Or vice versa, if it's, for the liberals, or if a man's getting cooked, get him. He's cooking her. She don't know what to say.
Her stance, right, Ms. Harris? Orange man bad. If Orange man is so bad, then why does half of the country, and really more than that, in my opinion, why is he loved by so many millions of people? Why are his crowds packed to the top, packed beyond capacity, and no one comes to your rallies? Except for when it's a rapper or something like that, it goes for free. Okay, you got Meg Thee Stallion, right? Meg Thee Stallion sells out arenas all over the country. You go to Atlanta, Georgia, the black mecca, the black party central of the whole world, not just the USA, but the whole world. You go to Atlanta, you got everybody. You got Africans, Caribbeans, Americans, South Americans, all kind of black folks right there. It's a college right there, GSU. You have your rally.
Yo, I didn't stop it right there. He stopped it right there. Like the face she making. Yo.
You have a rally right in the college campus. All these 20-something-year-olds that come to see Meg Thee Stallion. That's the only reason why anybody comes to see you is because of some other stuff. Bon Iver.
And Trump was right. That's just what it is.
Meg Thee Stallion or whatever. You got the craziest faces. I try not to give you like.
He said you got the craziest faces. Yo, chill. Anthony, you got to chill, bro. Subscribe to Anthony.
I try not to pause on the bad frame, but there's not many good frames.
Are you still in support of using taxpayer dollars to help prison inmates or detained illegal aliens?
Sassy with the $5 donation said, Thug Life. Shout out to y'all. You know what I mean? Shout out.
Transition to another gender.
I will follow the law. And it's a law that Donald Trump actually followed. You're probably familiar with, now it's a public report, that under Donald Trump's administration, these surgeries were available on a medical necessity basis to people in the federal prison system. And I think, frankly, that ad from the Trump campaign is a little bit of like throwing stones when you're living in a glass house.
The Trump aides say that he never advocated for that prison policy and no gender transition surgeries
you know what? You got to take responsible for what happened
presidency.
in your administration.
Yeah, no.
See, she don't, and you know something else I noticed? She don't listen.
No, she don't.
She don't listen at all because he was just saying that Trump.
Shout out to Jarhead. Thug Life.
administration. Trump's team does not advocate for that policy, and no surgeries of that type happened under his administration.
Right.
And she's completely not listening and saying, oh, well, he should just recognize what happened under his administration. She just told you that there was none of that going on under Trump. It could be policy on the books, but it's not a thing that they actually did under Trump. But she's not listening because she has talking points in her head and she wants to just go off of that.
No surgeries happened in this presidency.
It's in
so
black and white.
would you still advocate for using taxpayer dollars for gender reassignment
I will
surgeries?
follow the law, just as I
you have a
think
say
Donald
in
Trump would
this.
say he did.
You would have a say as president.
Like I said, I think it's real. He spent 20 million. I think we've had a broken immigration system transcending, by the way, Donald Trump's administration.
So are you trying to say that the border is not in crisis? Is that what we're trying to say right now? Hopefully not. Hopefully not. It was a direct question that didn't get answered again, which has become a pattern over the past few weeks here. But are you trying to say there's no actual border crisis? Please don't say that.
Oh, yeah, bro. Candace Owens said, breaking. Kamala's family friend confirms race hoax.
Identity.
Yo, this is my girl, bro. Shout out to her. I don't know her, but shout out to her. We neighbors. We both in Nashville. Shout out to her. Let's see what she's saying.
Remembers her affectionately, by the way. Apparently, Grandma Beryl was a wonderful woman. She adored Kamala's Grandma Beryl. It was just one minor detail that was off. You see, the Beryl that she knew, the one that Kamala presented in her book, was not her, because the Beryl she knew was white. Yeah, let's get started. Welcome back to Candace. Very dark woman. I'm not thinking this is the mother.
Yo, are we watching like a scary movie or something? Like I'm just saying, Thug Life. The reason I'm saying that is like, yo, they making up family members. They like, bruh. They got her like announcing that somebody has been defeated, like at the podium. It's like they doing the most. Social media is guiding her like heavily. This is insane. I feel like, what do y'all think in the chat? I think we watching some kind of movie, bro. Like, this is insane. Bro. And then like Candace Owens, like it's like another lady. She's like sitting on her lap, and then she finds out it's the help. It's like some kind of weird like tale, American Horror Story tale. And then she finds out her mom or her parent, not her parents, but like her lineage had like plantations and all. Like the way Candace Owens broke down like her whole family tree is insane, bro. But let's listen to what Candace Owens is saying.
Harris at all. Like, I know genetics can be funky, but I was going, this woman does not look like she owned and operated a store. There were so many things that were throwing me off. Even the whole story of the grandparents owning all of these stores. I'm going, what are you talking about? 1914 to 1938 in Jamaica. But we were just getting out of slave chains. And you're telling me like your family just became like so dominant and we're running these dry goods stores and this grandma had that. Something was off, okay? And what was off was just the photos they were presenting.
Somebody said she added herself to the photo. Shout out to my fiancé with the $2 donation. Leave my Candace alone. That's my woman. Shout out to Candace Owens.
These people were too black. And then once we started looking into it, the fact that her campaign just shut off the tap on speaking about her blackness. They just wanted to move on as if she had never said it. It was the entire brand. Remember, that's the pitch. She's going to be the first black female president of the United States. The media.
But first, wasn't she like Indian and Jamaican and all this? And now she's. Yo, Kamala is insane, bro.
Was trying to sell that, to force feed that to us. And I said, Black scientific theory says, no, this ain't your grandma. But I was receiving a ton of emails from people that were insisting that Beryl was Kamala's grandmother. Among the emails were a flurry of people suggesting that I speak to a woman known as Lady Colin Campbell. She also goes as Lady C. I'm familiar with her work. I've seen her. She's written in the Daily Mail before, or has been written about in the Daily Mail. She's a British Jamaican author and a socialite who grew up in Jamaica. And she is deep on genealogy. She's written several books regarding the British royals. This woman likes history. She likes facts. And someone had sent me a clip of her from her YouTube channel during which she was fielding questions and people were asking her to look into my research into Kamala Harris. And she said, rather offhandedly, that she had asked around and that she had a friend that was on the island who had confirmed to her that Beryl was, in fact, Kamala's grandmother, seemingly putting to rest all of my theories. But I remained completely undeterred, and I just ignored it. Lady C said that she was hoping to host that friend on her podcast in the future, and that the woman would spill all of the tea on how she knew Kamala's grandmother, Beryl.
If you're not subscribed to Candace Owens, please go ahead and subscribe to her. She has been doing a lot of, I don't know if maybe she's got investigators working for her, but the type of investigative work, like when you watch the series, it's kind of like you don't want to ruin the series. We broke down some of it, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to her because she didn't like copyright me or anything like that. But when she starts breaking down her family tree, it gets so scary, bro. It's like a hoax. So I'm interested to see. She said, family friend confirms hoax.
So I just waited. I waited for the future to arrive, and guess what? The future has.
Somebody says she's bad. Yes, she's beautiful. She knows that. We gotta look past that. It's kind of hard. I know when I first seen her, I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, she is beautiful. But we gotta look past. We gotta pay attention to what she's saying. Candace Owens be spitting that knowledge. And the thing I love about her, like, she will go and talk to be a mayor. What do you call it? Mayor. And then just like smoke him in a debate. And then just chill out and like go somewhere else and smoke somebody else in a debate. Smoke Sync from Young Turks in a debate. Like, she be smoking a lot of people, bro. So I rock with her, but her confidence is through the roof. She deserves to be where she is right now.
Arrived. And as promised, Lady C hosted Dorothy, that's the woman's name, Dorothy, the woman who knew Grandma Beryl. And I will tell you, the conversation did not go as Lady C expected. I think primarily because people who did not watch every episode of this series into Kamala were not quite understanding what we were uncovering. There were all of these people making response videos. I was going, you clearly did not watch everything that we're doing. We never said that Beryl did not exist. We always believed that Beryl existed. We simply did not believe that the woman that was presented in Kamala's book was her. We believed that this was a case of stolen identity. Essentially, there was a Beryl, but the woman that was being pictured was not the grandma, and they were playing funny business like commies do, switching identities. And it was strange that even though Kamala presented a picture of Grandma Beryl in the book, she didn't mention her at all in the book. What's up with that? You're just trying to blackify yourself. But Lady C likes research. Lady C was good on her word. She hosted Dorothy. So let's watch the first part of their conversation. This is Dorothy, again, the Jamaican woman.
You know what I like about her too? So she went on the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God, right? And Charlamagne the God said something like he was messaging her and she wouldn't respond back to him. And she was like, oh, well, I changed my number. I change my number every so often. Dog life! Shout out to her.
Who grew up and knew.
Don't nobody want to talk to Charlamagne? She ain't trying to get that blue thought in her mind. Like, she know what it is.
Grandma Beryl, Miss Beryl, personally. Take a listen.
Greetings from Castle Goring, from Mickey, Aurora, and from me. We have a special guest with us today, Dorothy Otti, who is an old friend of mine. She's Jamaican, and she used to know Miss Beryl very well.
Oh! What?
Grew up in the same village?
Well, I grew up in the village where Miss Beryl lived. She was a lot older than me, of course. And Miss Beryl was the grandmother of Vice President Kamala Harris.
Yes.
And she was just the most delightful lady. I have such fond memories of her. Excuse me. So there's a sweet that you have in Jamaica as a child or grown-ups.
It's over, Kamala. It is over. Wait a minute. And the beautiful thing about all it's like everything Candace Owens has been saying is coming to light. Even what Judge Joe Brown was saying, we had reacted to a video and he was going in and basically like verifies a lot of stuff that she was saying was right, bro. It's amazing. Like that's why I like the level, the depth that she goes into a research, like in that series, like breaking down like Kamala Harris's family tree, because everything like aligns. It's like fire how she did it. And then now she got these people up here. Oh Lord,
see the sweet that's made from coconuts and caramelized sugar, and it's called a buster. Have you ever had?
Darling, in my day it was called Bustamante Backbone.
Okay, so it was called a buster, and Miss Beryl had a shop, and in the mornings, my Uncle Cecil would take me by the hand. We'd go up the road for a walk. And
Teresa Brewington is a subscriber, said everybody ain't voting for Harris.
on the way, everyone that goes past, it would be, good morning, Mas Cecil. And how are you, Miss Dar? And by the time we got to Miss Beryl's shop, she would either offer me a buster or this other delicious sweet called a paradise plum.
Yes, I remember paradise.
Yeah, but Miss Beryl, she was just so lovely. We would have these conversations as a little girl whenever I went past with Uncle Cecil, and it was always, how are you doing with your books? Are you reading? Are you learning your times table? Of course, she was a businesswoman. So she was very, very good at things like mathematics, of course. And she was, looking back now, you could see she was a trailblazer. Because the shop...
Somebody, Sugar Black said, Candace is going in on her. Yo, Obama dodged. He died like Obama was lucky. If Candace Owens was running like she is now, if she would have looked into Barack Obama like she just did Kamala Harris, like that would have really derailed him. You know, it's like this lady, bro. She needs to have some sort of position like in the Republican Party.
That she had, she actually built it herself, and so we lived in
y'all subscribing like crazy. Thug Life, everybody, Thug Life in the chat. Let's go. Thug Life, say it in the chat. Who you voting for? We voting for the felon. Thug Life, it is what it is. Let's go. Say it right now. Stop playing with me. Thug Life. In the chat, shout out to Sugar Black with the 100. Shout out to Matico in the chat. Trump Bone Spurs. I know you're trolling, but you in the chat. Shout out to the Chef Cook who's in the chat. LA, that's in the chat. Spencer in the chat. Shout out to the Chef saying Thug Life. Nails by me said Trump Thug Life. It is what it is, Thug Life. Then we got Kyle Ferguson in the chat. Thug Life. Teresa in the chat. Thug Life. Show her beers in the chat. Thug Passport Joker in the chat. In the chat. Thug Life. Beatrice Davis is in the chat. Thug Life. Billionaire is in the chat. Thug Life. Superman is in the chat. Thug Life. D Con is in the chat. Thug Life. Big Yella is in the chat. Thug Life Icon is in the chat. Thug Life Sandra is in the chat. Thug Life Steven is in the chat. Thug Life Code is in the chat. Thug Life Jay is in the chat. Shout out to you with the $20 donation. Thug Life Steve is in the chat. Thug Life Josh is in the chat. Lisa's in the chat. Thug Life Colin Radley's in the chat with the $1.99. Thug Life Ryan Gillis is in the chat. Thug Life Blink is in the chat. Thug Life Robert is in the chat. Thug Life Harris in the chat. Thug Life Moody is in the chat. Jordan is in the chat. Blink is in the chat. Thug Life, it's lit. Shout out to the Cole Carter with the $20 Thug Life. Shout out to Candace Owens.
village, and her shop was the only what you would call an upstairs, downstairs house. All the other houses were like bungalows on one level with gardens and stuff. I remember in our garden, we had gladiolas.
Okay, a couple of things flagged to me as interesting there. So she was really good at mathematics. Okay, so we're talking about a Black person. Again, this would not have been more than a couple of decades removed from slavery. And she was really good at mathematics, extremely well read, owned and operated a shop, and had the biggest house. I mean, what are we talking about? This doesn't feel like the correct kind of a Black story that I'm used to. A couple of generations ago, you go back, most Black people have my grandparents' sharecropping farm. I mean, maybe, you know, who knows? I'm like, okay. Very clearly, though, we know she's telling the truth right away, because this is a good fact check against what Donald Harris wrote when he wrote a story about their Jamaican heritage for Jamaican Online Global. And he talked about those bustas. He talked about him and his sister Enid and how they loved the bustas. I think he said it was around Easter time. So everything she's saying sounds correct. But it was this part, this next part, that instantly let me know that this woman was the real deal, because she presents a detail, something that I know to be a fact that I had not ever presented to the public. Remember when I told you that I got on the phone with a family?
What she's saying, like something flagged her to make her like really look at the authenticity of what she's saying, because she says she's got some information about the family that she never presented to the public, and the lady actually said it. Shout out to Ali Mack with the $2 donation. He said, "Thug life." Shout out to Candace Owens. She is cooking this girl.
It was this part, this next part, that instantly let me know that this woman was the real deal, because she presents a detail, something that I know to be a fact that I had not ever presented to the public. Remember when I told you that I got on the phone with a family member of Kamala Harris, and that family member told me that Donald Harris had two siblings, Enid Harris, who I have spoken to you guys about, and another sibling who I had never mentioned, was Beryl's son, and his name was Kenneth. And this woman starts speaking about the Kenneth that I had never mentioned, who would be Donald Harris's brother. Take a listen.
Was it a village or was it a hamlet? How many people would have been in it? How many houses? How many residents?
So at one time, everyone that lived there, was a village. There was probably about 80 or 90 people. But at one time, everyone that lived there was a relative of mine.
Really?
Yes.
What about Miss Beryl?
So this would have been before people such as Miss Beryl moved there. But before that, everyone who lived there, and even as a child growing up, most of the residents were connected in some way on my mother's father's side, my grandfather's side, where they were all related. But Miss Beryl, my darling, also had a son. He was called Kenneth, and Kenneth had a motorbike. The equivalent of what...
Oh, she even know that he had a motorbike. It's over, Kamala. It is over. It's over.
We would now called a Harley Davidson. And of course, so at the time I would have been no more than 4 or 5. I'm not interested in what make your bike is. And he would put me on the front of the bike, whenever I came past with Uncle Cecil, and I would sit there and he would switch the engine on. And of course, looking back now, I realized the bike never moved, but he just held on to me, and I thought I was riding a bike, and I grew up absolutely loving motorbikes. He was very handsome.
Oh, Beryl must have had some money. Her son has the equivalent of a Harley Davidson. He was very handsome. He's got riding around on his motorbike. What are we talking about here? Like I said, this is when I knew that this woman was dialed in, because I had never spoken about Kenneth publicly, not for any particular reason. I just literally hadn't gotten around to it as I've been collecting all of this evidence to present to the public on Kamala's family and looking into Enid and looking into Kenneth. So very interesting. Again, sounds like this Beryl had a lot of money. It's just not giving the person that is pictured in Kamala's book. Now, of course,
she is cooking, this lady. And then shout out to Review Craze with the $4.99 said, Candace, leave her alone. Bruh, Candace is on fire right now.
Naturally, Kamala Harris then comes up in this conversation. And Dorothy keeps this same positive energy. She's very positive, right? She has a spirit about her. She has this fond memory. Delightful. She's delightful in her approach about Beryl. And she's delightful in her approach about Kamala and Kamala's features. She really likes Kamala's facial features. I'll tell you why. Take a listen.
And Mrs. Beryl, by the way, I see Vice President Harris on the box, and I sit up straight and I think, my God, she looks so much like Miss Beryl. Her facial features, the only thing is Miss Beryl was much smaller in stature, but
well, okay, if Miss Beryl, because Kamala is very fair-skinned.
Ah, she knows everything.
right.
Was Beryl fair-skinned?
Yes, she was.
She was?
She was. She was fair-skinned.
She was? Okay.
Yes, she was very fair-skinned.
Oh my God,
hair.
Kamala. Oh
Really?
my.
Yes.
Okay.
So she was so fair-skinned that now that I'm older and I can spot people by their skin coloring, etc., for me, I would say there was something Irish there.
How interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say somewhere along the line, she would have had ancestors that were Irish. Yes.
Actually, can I show you a photograph?
Of course.
Of an old lady.
Yes.
And some people speculate that this is Miss Beryl.
Right.
So, sorry.
That's okay.
The Conjuring photo. Look at Candace. Oh, and she like, yeah, we got her. Yes. Keep going, girl. Thug life.
I am so untechnological.
Okay.
It's just pathetic.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Now,
Somebody in the comments says you can't get whiter than Irish. Y'all is crazy. Like, hey, she got her. She got her, bruh. She got her. If this lady shows a photo, oh Lord, bruh.
that's not Miss Beryl.
That's not Miss Beryl.
It's definitely not Miss Beryl.
Shout out to I Do Plants. Shout out to Angie uploaded with the 199 says she about to drop the mic. Yes.
Okay.
That's not Miss Beryl.
So,
And-
that means you have to just show.
Yeah.
So,
That is not Miss Beryl.
That's
no,
not Miss
it's
Beryl.
definitely not Miss Beryl.
Okay.
And I know what she looks like. I couldn't have been in a dream, and she definitely did not look like that.
There's another person, but could that be Miss Beryl?
No, that's not
That's
Miss
not
Beryl.
Miss Beryl
That's not
either.
Miss Beryl either.
Okay.
Don't know who that is.
Okay.
Well. What do we have here? What do we have here? CNN. Are y'all gonna end up interviewing like Kamala and asking her questions about what's going on here? I guess not. I don't think y'all will. I think y'all still want us to believe that she's black.
That's not Miss Beryl. That ain't Miss Beryl. You know, as you were describing the fair skin and looking like Kamala, I was thinking this can't be the Miss Beryl grandma that's in Kamala's book. And clearly you see Lady C's going, wait, fair skin?
What did I say earlier in this blog? They are making up family members. Didn't I say that? It's a reason why I wanted to play this video. Candace Owens has been on point with this video from her series from start to finish, and everybody is trying to ignore this. She's got millions of views on these videos. This video's only been up for 17 hours and she got 672,000 views. They're trying to like act like Candace Owens isn't a big player. No, Candace Owens has got 2.7 million subscribers listening to her. 2.75. I only got 83,477. We need y'all to like hit the, subscribe button for me. But Candace Owens is in the big leagues. And she uncovered one of the biggest stories, the biggest scandals with the vice president. This should be everywhere. But you know what Don Lemon is talking about? Instead of him like kind of understanding like what's going on, you know what I mean? Like fake news people. Let's see what Don Lemon is saying. So Don Lemon ends up putting up a post. Fox News needs to address this. Listen to this.
Okay, Fox News, you have a problem. You need to address this. This was one of the most egregious things.
First of all, is CNN going to address what Candace Owens said? See, they get into the camera and they do this. Fox News, you're going to have to address this. Are y'all going to address anything that Candace Owens said? But let's listen to what he has to say.
Okay, Fox News, you have a problem. You need to address this. This was one of the most egregious things in this interview, if not a flat out lie that you aired. Watch.
Are they misguided, the 50%? Are they stupid? What is it?
I would never say that about the American people. And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people, suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked that question to the former president.
And mind you, when Don Lemon gets into this, and Don Lemon is so vehemently, like he just want to talk crazy. Like that, like I can't believe y'all done did this, Kamala Harris. Like y'all gotta say something about this. It's a person in the comments that cooks this entire video. Because Don Lemon think that people don't know they're not bright. It's a person in the comment section that ends up, and this has got 2.1 million views. This is circulating around on Twitter. So a person in the comment section is about to prove fake news wrong. Watch this.
President today, Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
So,
Brett, I'm sorry, and with all.
Hold on, real quick. Colin Bradley with the $4.99. He said Don Lemon is in his mansion with his white man he married to. Hey, Riley, I wasn't ready for that. Hold on. Thug life. So he said Don Lemon is in a mansion with the white man he married to when he says the white men are the issue and voted for a white man in the office, bruh. And then Kamala Harris, got Obama out here and said that want a black man to vote, like black men need to vote for her, but she married a white man. Hey, I believe in people get interracial, but it's like, yo, you trying to shame us? Come on, bro.
All due respect.
My girlfriend white, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't. It's just the irony with everything, bro. Radley, you pointing out.
Clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
Well, he was asked about that specific...
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you.
That was the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy,
The president of the United States in the United States of America should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it.
You should be able to handle criticism without being super mad. Is this like the demeanor you want of somebody that gets super emotional and like, come on, bro, and trying to blame everybody? Like, come on, chill out.
And this is what is at stake.
So here's the problem with that. She's right. This is what Donald Trump actually said.
Well, the people from within, we have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military, because they can't let that happen.
Now, Fox News, unless you address this, you're doing the American people and your viewers a disservice, because the people in your media bubble echo chamber will never see the truth.
How do people even like people can see right through him? So Gerald A said, Don, we debunked this yesterday. He was answering a question about how to handle violence breaking out on election day. He was not talking about just randomly rounding up political opponents. Look how many likes and retweets he got. There's a person in the comment section just smoked this whole video. This is fake news. This is Mr. Propaganda Man. So when we see Hillary Clinton talking about, oh, well, social media needs to be watched and censored. We watched the video earlier. She said it. Didn't she say that? I think she ends up saying something similar to that, doesn't she? Hold on.
The former president has stated an intention.
Hold on. Let me show y'all this, because I think Kamala Harris thinks that Twitter needs to be censored as well. Maybe this is just like a random like Democratic thing. Like they just don't want anybody to have social media networks, and you know, everything needs to be censored in their favor, in their direction. So this is Kamala Harris says she is so, somebody says she is so not smart. Kamala Harris said X needs to be taken down because there's no oversight or regulation on what's being posted. Mind you, this is the party that is taking TikTok away or forcing the sale of TikTok, right? Free thinkers, right? Listen to what she says. And we watched a video of Hillary Clinton saying the same exact thing. They want censorship, more and more censorship. Listen to this.
He has lost his privileges and it should be taken down. And the bottom line is that you can't say that you have one rule for Facebook and you have a different rule for Twitter. The same rule has to apply, which is that there has to be a responsibility that is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation. And that has to stop. He has lost.
So she wants the internet censored as well. But she claims that Donald Trump is a tyrant. She claims that Donald Trump doesn't believe in free think, and he doesn't believe in freedom of speech. But it looks like Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton, and John Kerry also doesn't believe in freedom of speech. Charlamagne the God ended up doing an interview with her, but he did make these comments last week. He's Charlamagne the God, Trump's America First message resonates with voters. Kamala's ticket very out of touch. You know, the alleged racist, right? What's it? He doesn't look too racist to me. Like he don't look like. Go ahead.
My name's Angelina, and I was raised in a Philadelphia Democrat household, a union household. As a mother of a blended family, my top issues are the same issues that face all Americans. Illegal immigration hurts Black Americans. Inflation hurts Black Americans. And dangerous cities hurt Black Americans.
He's letting her get up here and speak her mind. Black Americans are afraid of this new immigration that's going on. She's got a problem with it. A lot of people have a problem with it. You opened up the borders, Kamala. People are starting to wake up to who you guys really are. You can't blame Trump and say, oh, for 9 months. No, you've been in there for 4 years. You overturned his border policies as soon as you got into office. Brett Baer pressed you on that. So you can't go back now and say 9 months from right now, you've been prevented to get more support at the border when you've been in office for 4 years. Well, not you, but your administration been in office for 4 years. Well, you've been vice president. Now there's a problem when you sitting down with 60 Minutes and they telling you, oh, well, within the past couple years, the amount of immigration has quadrupled, as well as fentanyl. And you sit across from the guy on 60 Minutes and you say, oh, well, we've cut the people bringing in fentanyl by half. But the math is not adding. There's still more people coming in here. Brett Baer made her have to face the people that lost their lives as a result of illegal immigration. None of the fake news is like questioning how she answered that question. Or her thoughts on immigration after sitting there and seeing the faces of the people that lost their lives. And this is the person that you feel like stellar candidate. She wants to blame Trump instead of just sitting there and say, you know what? Let's do a moment of silence. That's what she had to do. She didn't even do that. She went immediately to blaming Trump. He's separatist and he's this and he's that, but he's sitting here giving black people an opportunity to speak their grievances while she's doing controlled interviews on The Breakfast Club and The View. Somebody made an amazing shirt, right? It says, Trump raised the bar. JFK set the bar. Obama screwed the bar. Kamala Harris worked at a bar. And then Nancy Pelosi lives at a bar. Biden can't spell the bar. Hillary should be behind bars. You know, that's a fire shirt. I might actually buy one of those. I don't know. I think the lefties are losing it. Me, personally, if you ask me, I think they're losing it. Let's see what he got to say. Let's see what he got to say.
Here's how you don't know what you're talking about. That's why people like, again.
This guy slams Plies. It says, Maj slams Plies and other celebrities for their lack of civic knowledge, stating that they are supporting Harris based on emotion rather than informed understanding. So listen to this.
I'm going to pick on Plies because I think he's a moron. That's why the general public is so silly and doesn't understand civics. That's why he'll stay right in the pocket of how he feels about Trump and why we should support from an emotional angle. No policy. He doesn't know the fact that she flip-flops. He doesn't know. He just doesn't want to acknowledge it. He definitely does.
Who's taking advice from Plies? Like, who taking advice from him? Like, he should be a factor.
Doesn't know the fact that when she was in California, and I heard Charlamagne say it wasn't true and it was a narrative. It is true. You 1,000% kept over 1,500 inmates in California for cannabis possession. You kept them in jail, even though it was lawful then in your state at the time, because your state needed to free prison slave labor. That is what you did. And now you're talking about joy. The problem is the people like me and the others that you guys have interviewed know what we're talking about. And our memory isn't like a goldfish. It isn't 7 seconds. We go, it don't even got to be that long. It can be 10 seconds. You could go, at the debate, Kamala Harris said, me and Waltz are gun owners. We're not trying to take nobody's guns. And then 2 days later, she put a ban assault weapons post up on her social media.
Shout out to Kevin Vasquez with the $6 cash app. I appreciate you, bro. He said fire content cooking. I appreciate you, bro. I'm glad that this dude's seen that. She ended up putting, oh, really? Oh, what else she do?
Then if you go back further than that, you have some photos or videos circulating on the internet right now where her saying, we're not saying that you can't keep a gun. It was her and Gavin Newsom some years ago. We're not saying that you can't keep a firearm. But that doesn't mean we're not going to march in your home and see if you're not handling those weapons and firearms properly. That's a violation of the 4th Amendment.
And she talking about mandatory buybacks on top of that. Y'all want this is why they want to like tax and tax and tax and expand the federal government and expand it until they just trample on, and they say like, hey, Trump is not a constitutionalist. He wants to do away with the Constitution. He feels like the Constitution is not what we need to be doing, right? But they're expanding the reach of the federal government, constantly like overreaching, even to the point where people are alleging the FBI trying to protect him. Trump gets fact check on, crime stats that he was actually right on, and they corrected it after the debate. Why didn't they correct it before the debate? Because they wanted them to get fact checked, allegedly. Thug life. Thug life.
That's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. So since it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment, you're a person that is going for the job of the presidency. That job has 3 lanes to it: command the armed forces, secure the borders, uphold the Constitution. The general public doesn't know that that's the job of the president. So if the general public doesn't know that that's the job of the president, she can just say things and the celebrities can mirror these feel-good tactics, collard greens in my tub. Plies. Y'all just don't want to get behind a black woman. That's what it is. I see what it is. You just don't want to give it. That's that step and fetch it, tap dance, corny shit. But if you don't know anything about civics or the job and the role, you won't view it the same. And then if you start to know, the commander-in-chief, the head of the executive branch, which is the president, has to command the armed forces. It's called the commander-in-chief. Do you think that these wild military dudes respect her enough to accept commands from her? We don't need a cackling hyena. Why did Trump have so much respect? Because he commanded respect.
Facts! Talk to him! Thug life! Hey, they knew not to be going to war and doing all this craziness. They knew what was up. Hold on, let me show y'all something, bro. Lefties are losing it. Shout out to Rita. Watch this.
Motivated by, you guessed it, white supremacy. He only wants more white children.
The stats are there. More and more Americans choosing not to have kids, which again emphasizes why J.D. Vance's comments about childless Americans, childless cat ladies, could be so politically damaging.
Well, so what's interesting is this natalism that comes from an authoritarian playbook, right? That there need to be more white children, right? That's the idea that there's, this is about great replacement theory, racism, right? This is what this is. So don't misunderstand it for him wanting more children. He wants a certain kind of, racist thing.
What can you say to that? J.D. Vance is the father of 3 biracial children. His children are not white, you dim-witted race-baiting simpleton.
Get her,
and look,
Rita!
it's not just white women for Kamala. The Democrats have really embraced their segregationist past, and they've also got what they call white dudes for Harris. This group, and yes, they do look exactly as you'd expect. Don't you just love a white men-only group created in the name of progress? Let's hear from these white dudes, starting with actor Jeff Bridges.
I'm white, I'm a dude, and I'm for Harris.
Over the last few years,
Did he just say that?
I'm white, I'm a dude, and I'm for Harris.
over the last few years, I've been thinking a lot about men.
I'm not sure if you guys can recall that feeling you had on the night of Tuesday, November 8th, 2016.
I was waiting for the comment to be like, what?
Had on the night of Tuesday, November 8th, 2016.
Hey, black people are like, hey, this lady, black lady, right? She sees a Trump flag and she gets out of her car. She goes over there and she fixes the flag because she's seen it tangled up. There we go. I love stuff like that. That's fire. Why don't fake news show that? Why didn't Charlemagne show that? Y'all don't think like that's a black lady. Like, we supposed to not like Trump. Like, this is why y'all need to subscribe to channels like this. And shout out to Randy Falek. He said, I have never seen your show before. I just watched 30 seconds and subscribe. Facts. I appreciate you. Shout out for the $2 donation. RBM said, this gotta be a Boondock skit. Like, nah, bro. Like, people are tired. Like, you gotta understand, like, under Biden, Harris, food prices are ridiculous, bro. I went and, pause whatever you want to say. I drink eggnog, bro. Like, thug life. It is what it is. Holiday drink. Thug life. $7.99 at the grocery store. Pause. Every holiday I get I get eggnog. $7.99. That's ridiculous. I was scared to look at the cost of eggs. That's a problem. Y'all don't see that as being imagine what y'all about to pay on Thanksgiving. Oh, Lord Jesus. Y'all got family coming over? Oh, y'all got to do some shopping here soon. You think Kamala gonna tell them to lower the prices before the election? No. And these gonna be the people that's gonna vote blue, right? And they gonna be complaining when they shopping for Thanksgiving. Oh, you know what's coming up? Christmas. Christmas entails shopping. Wait till people start getting sticker shock for how expensive things are. Just watch. This is why you got people like this. Like, nah, we ain't doing that no more, Biden. We not doing that no more, Harris. We fixing these Trump flags. People need to be able to see these Trump flags. Shout out. Shout out to her. Thank you for your service, ma'am. And then somebody said, black men are not wanted in a white progressive world. The Democratic Party hates black masculinity. What?
Over the fact that you got a woman on the ticket. Right. And are you afraid to vote for her is basically what he did and challenged them.
A damn shame. It's like, it's so insulting. Could you imagine a white man talking down to black people like that, particularly black men? That's our issue, women. It's not the fact that I don't have a job or my job is not existing or, I'm in a world where, by the way, progressives are erasing me from movies, from billboards, from opportunities. The Democratic Party, particularly progressives in Hollywood, Madison Avenue, Washington, D.C., Wall Street, they have erased the black man. There's no opportunities for black men anywhere in their world. And I think a lot of it centers around what they perceive as to be too much toxic masculinity. They hate.
He's actually right. He's actually right.
Black men have to get over the fact that you got a woman on the ticket. Right. And are you afraid to vote for her is basically what he did and challenged them.
A damn shame. It's like, it's so.
Exactly. Hey, Eric Copels, he said, you are right. We are making life decisions when buying eggs, bro. Like, hey, subscribers, like, listen to me real quick. Y'all remember when, back in the day, right? Rent used to be like $600 or $700 in some places. Your grocery bill is now rent. From back in the day. Not even that long ago. That's what's going on right now. It's insane. And then, voices are being drowned out. I don't even have 100,000 subscribers yet. I'm trying to run to 100,000, right? Get 100,000 subscribers, get a little bit more protections, and show other videos that, they really don't want to see. But when you got 100,000 subscribers, they kind of let you get away with a little bit more, right? But people like me don't see people like me speaking for the red. They don't see that. That's a problem. That's why we got to get these subscribers up. And Joyanne Malone with the $2 donation said they took Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. Shout out to you. Toxic masculinity is what they call it. Have y'all ever watched The View? With you know, Kamala Harris going on there, like I watched it to see what they were gonna do, and then like I turned it off once I seen what they were doing. But they're kind of like anti-man, and they don't like the toxic masculinity, and you know that's what's happening.
Vote for her is basically what he did and challenged them.
A damn shame. It's like, it's so insulting. Could you imagine a white man talking down to black people like that, particularly black men? That's our issue, women. It's not the fact that I don't have a job or my job is not existing, or, you know, I'm in a world where, by the way, progressives are erasing me from movies, from billboards, from opportunities. The Democratic Party, particularly progressives in Hollywood, Madison Avenue, Washington, D.C., Wall Street, they have erased the black man. There's no opportunities for black men anywhere in their world. And I think a lot of it centers around what they perceive as to be too much toxic masculinity. They hate black masculinity. They hate it. And they've gone to war with it. And black men have noticed it. And guess what?
Shout out to Douglas with the Thug Life Trump Nation. Shout out to you.
But they're saying, we're not going to take it anymore. Give you an example. By the way, they're tired of being pimped. Mm-hmm. Brothers are tired of being pimped. Kamala Harris is going to do something to legalize marijuana. As they were pushing for this, all these states, the legalization thing, every time they put black people in the commercials, front row, it's opportunities for minorities. This is an article from 2022. Payne, talking about Congressman Donald Payne at the time, outraged that New Jersey denied cannabis licenses to all black-owned businesses who applied. To every single one. None. But they had the ads, black kids and black people making money from this. But when it came through, they gave them zero. They give them zero every single time. And guess what? Black men are waking up. They're not wanted in the white progressive world. They're
interesting. Very interesting. Let me show y'all something. Somebody just sent this to me.
Look at Ms. Harris as unintelligent. I think the appropriate way to look at her in answering those questions is this, that she is incapable of filling the role that she is attempting to fill. Mm-hmm. And for that, it doesn't look well. I would look stupid too. Somebody came to me and say, hey, Brother Steph, tell me what's wrong with that engine. I'd be like, well, there's an engine here. We need oil changes. Like I'll be saying nothing. They'll be like, he's a stupid man. We need oil changes, you know, the carburetor and Pentium 360 space modulator. You know, I'm reaching way back from the cartoons, and somebody knows me. But I'm just saying, I could look foolish, or someone can say that he's an unintelligent man. And really, I would hope that somebody would look on and say, I don't think he's unintelligent. I think he's not a mechanic. I don't think Ms. Harris is unintelligent. I think she is simply not a president.
She is not a president. And we don't even know what she is. Like, let's be real, because we don't even know who Barrel, like this whole Thug Life. We don't even know who you are. Like, Candace Owens just messed me up. We don't even know who she is now. We thought we had a clue. We see it like made up family members. Right? Like, hit the subscribe, Doug. Like, hit the subscribe button right now. Stop playing. It is what it is. We're rolling up in here. Candace Owens has broken the code. Pandora's box. And now we know Kamala got some explaining to do. Shout out to her.
Maybe is this? Nope, that's not Miss Barrel. I didn't dream. That's not Miss Barrel. Yeah, that sounds about right. You're saying Irish, and that's funny because Judge Joe Brown had a very distinct memory that Donald Harris told him that he was Irish and Hindu. And
shout out to Justice Maker 999. I appreciate you, new subscriber, big fan already. Keep it up, brother. Thank you for your service in this messed up environment. God bless you. And the way, hey, Justin. They've been trying to bully me. A lot of people have been switching up on me, right? Because, you know, I talk about entertainment and like battle rap and stuff now, but I'm like switching my channel to like, you know, talking about conservative talk, because I feel like there needs to be more of us talking, you know, and like, you know, a little bit of entertainment, but a lot of conservative talk. I'm kind of like moving over to there, right? And they're all like acting weird and acting strange now. These are like other like bloggers and people that I know, like they just act like strange, like, oh. Like his video just did 400 and something thousand views. Like, I don't like that. This video's got like almost 300,000 views. This one that we're in right now, you guys are witnessing history on my channel. Y'all are subscribing. This is y'all hitting the like button. This is y'all hitting the, you know what I'm saying, the hearts and all of that, and on the Androids double tapping it all. This is y'all. But I would get feedback like, you know, you kind of don't want to do that. Like, people ain't really gonna watch that. But deep down in their heart, they knew, you know what I mean? Like, I was passionate about the passion might, you know, it might come across, people might subscribe to him. Like, let's try to keep him in the entertainment, like talking about that. Let's try to keep him in the talking about, you know what I mean? I'm like, nah, you can't stop me. I'm gonna keep talking. You can get mad about it, try to hate. Hey, I've been like deleting numbers left and right out of my phone. But shout out to you, Justice Maker, with the donation. It's a messed up environment out here. People are mad when we're free thinkers. Like, people tell me like Trump's racist. I'm like, oh, so how is he racist? And it's very difficult for them to justify it. I'm like, oh, he's racist. Like, we reacted to a video of a liberal that got so upset of the disinformation that was going on and the sound bites that have been edited together to make him sound like racist. And he did a whole video like breaking the hoax of the claims, you know what I mean, of Trump being racist. This is a liberal. He showed video footage of him at the White House, being invited to the White House and going out to the White House and saying when he met Trump, he's got to be honest. He didn't feel a racist bone in his body when he met him. Fake news would never say that. But shout out to Justice Maker. I appreciate you. Haters gonna hate. Man, they hating already. They all done switched up. They all got mad. You know, politics is a taboo subject. You're supposed to be quiet about it if you have differences of opinions. And guess what? I get on here and I say my opinion. When people are in here saying that they're blue, some people, I don't kick them out. I don't bully them. I let them have whatever they want to say, they can say it. I don't think like Hillary Clinton. I don't think their comments need to be censored. I don't think like Kamala Harris. I don't think that. When it comes to politics, just say what you feel, say what you want. It's open dialogue. We can all talk. It doesn't have to be just one way. I don't have to just like, you know, bleed blue just to fit in. It's okay. Like, people have to see it's okay. It's got to start from somewhere, right? And they're scared now. Like, people that I know are scared. They see these subscribers. This channel had 67,000 subscribers a week ago. 67,000. We had 83,816. You think they like that? When this video finishes publishing and it's got 300 and something thousand views on here, you think they're going to be happy with me? They're not. The environment needs to change. People need to wake up.
Things are starting to add up, not in Kamala Harris's favor. And I don't know what to say here, ladies and gentlemen, other than I am truly, untypically speechless.
You did your job, Candace Owens, and you need like more credit. I don't want to stop her.
Don't think
to where
I
she
possess.
Looks bad. Like, I want to make sure she looks good because I respect her. Shout out to her. Colin Ratley with the $4.99 said he at LC. Lonely and has nothing better to do, y'all. Just ignore that fool. Hey man, like I let people troll. I haven't even like seen what he said, but shout out to him for being a subscriber. Like, sometimes like y'all gotta understand too. Like, I used to be like on the Blue Party, right? And I would be upset too. And I figured out like, yo, why am I really upset? I'm upset because I can't really defend the Blue Party. So when people are slamming me and hitting me with facts, it's like, man, am I just believing this because of my environment, or do I believe in what the Blue Party represents because I believe what the Blue Party represents? And then when I really sat down, I did the research myself, because I was always taught, oh, Larry Elder is bad, or Rush Limbaugh is terrible, and Fox News, Sean Hannity, they're terrible. A Brett Baer, you don't know what he's talking about. I was always told all this stuff, right? And the more and more I delved into it, the more and more I realized something, These guys are actually fighting for the Constitution. I was like, why do they want a smaller government? Because with smaller government, I can get less free stuff. I didn't see like the big picture. You want to give the power back to the states. You want to do that. Like the federal government is overreaching. The bigger it gets, the more taxes you have to pay for it. For more departments that do nothing for you. This is a different issue, right? Or a situation that happened in Chicago, right? There was, I can't remember, I don't think it was the mayor. It was somebody in the political arena in Chicago. They found out that this lady remodeled her office and spent, it was the office or the bathroom, right? Either the office or the bathroom. She spent $80,000 on a remodel of taxpayer money on her office. In Chicago. Have y'all been to Chicago? I've been there. The roads need help. Right? Beautiful city. Like, it's got a lot going on. Some of the best restaurants you ever go to. You know what I mean? A lot of entertainment stuff there. The pizza, shout out to them. But the roads need help. You know what I mean? I think the money could be used in different areas. Why did this lady need to remodel her office with $80,000 of taxpayer money? They ended up asking like one of her representatives why she did that. He didn't know what to say. But nobody's going to blast that on the Breakfast Club and give him Donkey of the Day. I wonder why. But the second Trump, imagine if Trump, right? Imagine if he got on the podium, or even, let's just say, one of his political friends got on the podium, right? Or at a haircutting place, whatever. And they said, best cuts, white people place, right? And they said something like, I think y'all don't want to vote for me because it, it says something racist. Y'all ain't white enough. White people need to, y'all need to wake up. Y'all need to vote for me. Like, we white, y'all don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna let this happen? You know what I mean? Like, I'm white. Imagine if he did that. Even did an inkling of that. It would be blasted everywhere. White people should have white pride too. We got black pride. Everybody should be prideful of their race. Like, what they contributions that they've done. Not everybody's bad, right? But let him say something like that. People would lose their minds. But Barack Obama, who was president of the United States, can sit up there and shame black men. That is unreal to me. Unreal. Like, he got elected like without the help of white people, without the help of Indian people, without the help of Asian people. It's ridiculous. When you're a bestseller, a lot of people are buying your books. A lot of people. And then his wife goes up and she does a speech for Kamala Harris and she says like, all white people have escalators and, and that's why we have to work extra hard. Like sometimes we do got to work harder sometimes. Right? But, they got silver spoons in their mouth and they all gotta, when I go to work, I work next to white people. They don't want to be at work. They wish they had an escalator. They can take them off the job. But they be working too. Hey, sometimes, and I'm going to be real, because of affirmative action, I've seen a lot of people in positions that don't deserve to be in positions. And that's just me being 100%. But she want to get up there and preach more separation. She wants us to not like white people, even though they helped get her husband elected. Trump is such a racist. I think isn't his wife like not white? We just heard Rita on Sky News Australia debunked them trying to call JD Vance that. Disinformation rules the airwaves. You know what I mean? He who has the megaphone can spew it. But the problem is these are like, how do you want to say it? Smoke and mirror news shows. I think they are. CNN, you literally just seen Hillary Clinton sit down and say we need more censorship on social media, and they said nothing to her. You literally just seen that. We literally just watched Kamala Harris say the same thing, and they said nothing. But they say Trump wants the censorship. This is ridiculous. But shout out to everybody. I got to go to sleep. Thug Life. We got 83,000. We got, 83,935 subscribers. It's lit. And I feel confident all the people that was hating on me are trying to, change and act weird. Don't feel like, I can make 100,000 subscribers. I think my people are behind me. That's what I think. And I think it's scaring y'all. It's not only scaring y'all. My videos are doing a lot of views. This one's got 300,000 views. These videos are doing a lot of views for a reason, because I'm showing you things that they will not put on regular news. Somebody is seeing this. Somebody's seeing Piper Boy Williams. They're like, yo, this guy's going to be a problem one day. Maybe they're thinking behind the scenes. Let me just send somebody at him. Change his mind. It's not going to happen. I go to that. When I go to that voting, the polls, I'm red. If you feel like you blue, feel like you blue. I'm not going to, and no bullying over here, but I'm red. I'm voting for the Constitution. I believe, you know what I mean? People have, I watch a lot of war movies. Midway is my favorite movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that fought for this country, various different wars, veterans, I respect them. I feel like they don't get the respect that they deserve. You're in office right now for the past 4 years. Veterans should be like one of you guys' priorities. I feel like they kind of just look over them. All these interviews that she had, I don't really hear her talking about veterans. I'm not even a veteran, but I respect what they've done for this country. But the sacrifices that they made. People in Arlington Cemetery and all. Some people think like these days, these holidays are just like times to just go and have a cookout. Man, I pop in a war movie and remember what these people did. Why can't they talk about these people a little bit more? But they use their airtime to run Trump down. And he's trying to bridge a divide. Clearly doing it. So I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. I'm just a blogger. Wait a minute. When you hear something in the news, fact check it. Pay attention. It's a war for your time. Watch hours. You know what I mean? Cardi B's trying to get your time. Offset's trying to get your time. Nicki Minaj is trying to get your time. Drake is trying to get your time. J. Cole's trying to get your time. They're trying to distract you. And now they got Big Meech, what people thought he never would get out. Just got out the other day. Hip-hop news is starting to pay attention to that. That's going to distract them. You know what I'm saying? Stay woke. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But shout out to P. Jeezy with the $5 donation. My family told me if I vote Trump, we not family anymore. I told them if I known that, I would have voted for Trump in 2016. Thug Life! I'm out. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. Peace.